So on the 22nd of February, we were having a staff meeting just in here. This is a reasonably modern building that's immediately beside the old church, and just in there we were 5 of us sitting around the table meeting. Interestingly, our youth pastor was in the middle of complaining about how the space wasn't working for the youth work, and as he was in mid-rant, the earthquake struck, and it was very violent, very noisy, and you can see over here it's just completely destroyed the old brick church building that was made in 1881. It was not unlike what I imagined immediately after the Twin Towers 9/11 business was, because the dust was incredibly thick, and as we sort of were milling around out here, the dust started to clear, sirens and alarms were going off and so forth, and people shouting, and it became obvious that this was an extremely massive event, and the church had fallen right down altogether with quite a crash. It's a piece of Oamaru stone. I think, you know, I do think it's important to grieve what has been lost, because, you know, so many amazing stories of God have happened in that building. I quite like old architecture. It was a beautiful building to look at. So actually, we had a service of lament and farewell for the congregation, and you can still see the remains here of the pieces of rosemary that people came and tossed onto the ruins. It still smells. In some strange sort of a way, the earthquake has thrown us into the community. Since September, actually, last year, we've been worshipping in a school hall about 400 metres away from here. That has been a really interesting process for us. We don't have an organ anymore, or the sloping floor, or the pews, all those formal elements that were a part of the worship, they're gone. And in some ways, it's probably been good for us. We've certainly found that more people are joining us for worship now than they were. Our relationship with the school, which was an existing one, has been strengthened tremendously, and in terms of the church looking beyond itself and being engaged in mission action, it's been nothing but good. The church building was quite a magnificent structure. It was very grand. But in a way it was also quite dominant. Bricks and mortar, you know, the buildings, they're very useful tools for mission, and we'll probably end up with another one, but at the moment we're really appreciating that it's about people. Church is about people, and church is about reaching out and serving and blessing other people. We've got a few challenges in front of us as a church community, but there's a lot of optimism and a lot of hope, and in a really strange sort of a way, this earthquake has opened up all sorts of possibilities for us. The opportunity to partner with local community situations is massive, in a way that is genuine and is servant-hearted, I suppose. It's not as if we're embarking on a scalp hunting exercise as we serve the community. It's much bigger than that. A lot of Christians are acting and talking in Christchurch as if they were born for this particular point in history, which is just inspirational. God's people in a disastrous situation getting their hands dirty and being involved in shaping and rebuilding the city in a way that is going to be really great. I think that the place of the church in the new Christchurch will be really significant as we get on with doing what God calls us to do, which is to serve His world.